Sylvia, please can I come to you and ask you around the skills you've developed? Touch on soft skills as well as any technical knowledge, and maybe a little bit about how you've had the chance to develop the skills as well.
Absolutely. So I think I could probably list, well, a list of skills, from going from soft skills to technical skills. So in my first year, I really brushed up on my Excel skills, which we didn't use really in school. But prioritization, time management, confidence, what else? Presenting skills, report writing, like anything. So um, this was my first office job. I Before that, I worked in a pub. I worked in a shop. I was stacking shelves at one point. So we're going into an office environment. I had absolutely no idea, but I felt safe enough to kind of to make everybody in my team aware. Look, I don't even know how to write an email. So I learned all of that. And what's really good as well is that because we've got four different rotations, I've learned so much about myself. The self-awareness piece has been amazing. So I've learned what I do like, what I don't like, but not just that, how I work well and how I don't work well. So you have different teams that work in different ways. Some are more collaborative, some are more, in some of the teams, you work just by yourself independently. And I know that I like to work collaboratively with other people. I like being in the office a lot, and I like discussing networking as well. Absolutely amazing skill that I don't think I would have really learned to pick up if I wasn't on the apprenticeship. We have so many sessions on networking, oh, and all the other skills, but um, networking allows you to meet other people, uh, connect with them, know them. You never know who you'll come across in your career journey. So I think that's been a fantastic skill. So yeah, I could list absolutely loads of skills.
That's great. So good to hear that. Thank you so much, Sylvia. And Sylvia, just whilst we're speaking to you about your skills, what support and methods would you say has enabled you to develop those skills? So, like, what are the main support mechanisms in place for you?
So of course we've got the university side of things where I learn all my knowledge and everything like that. But I mean, also essay writing, that's been great. And presenting. Sometimes we have to present in small groups, make PowerPoints when we're learning on our lectures. But then whilst I'm at work as well, I have to produce reports. So, the data analysis piece and going in, taking apart data, looking at it, what does it mean? Just It's not just numbers on a page, but what can I actually get from that? And can I make any sense and meaning from it? So that's been great. My colleagues have been fantastic. They've always put in catch-up sessions whenever I need them. I know I can just go and ask a question. The degree apprenticeship team, they put on loads and loads of different sessions, which just, development sessions, networking sessions that, you can actually put your skills into practice and meet new people with senior stakeholders. And you never know, you might find somebody that's going to be your future manager. So definitely lots and lots of support. But also the cohort itself, we always share ideas, we always help each other out whenever anybody needs help. So absolutely lots and lots of support systems.
That's really great to hear. And Gwyn, obviously, you're on a slightly different apprenticeship program to what Sylvia's on. So, what support mechanisms are in place for you and the support that you get? How would you describe that?
Yeah, so we don't have as much of the networking part of it. In terms of support network, it is the people around you, which are great. Working in branch here, the some members have been with the branch 30 odd years. I have a colleague in the branch next over to us. As she came straight out of school, started working for Midland Bank at the time. She was 16. She's still with us now. She's like 72. So there's like wealth of knowledge, not only what's going on currently in the bank, but the history of the bank, the way things have been. And obviously the managers we have are great. Many of them have been through sort of similar programs to get them where they are. But we all work in, so our network being North Wales Coast, we all work together. Collaboration is a very big thing for us. So we have almost weekly Zoom meetings with different people from different branches, updates on what's happening, getting messages from sort of head office down to us very easily. It's very, going back to the reason why I went for the apprenticeships, because I didn't do well with school or with normal like reading paper learning. You almost never do, because there's always somebody here who's got the knowledge that you need, and they're always one Teams message away to get that. So the support network here is great.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's really useful. So, Keen, could I please come to you now and just ask you how you think the skills that you've developed whilst you've been on your apprenticeship will help you in your future career after the apprenticeship is finished?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it'll massively help. As we discussed earlier, there's the sort of the soft skills that you can take into every single role you go in, whether it's for different systems, whether it's like the time management or the analytical thinking. Obviously, the networks that you build throughout it, all the different roles we're in. I've only just started my current role. I'm already having conversations with people about future roles further down the line when I finish the apprenticeship. And again, like as I said earlier, I guess just the confidence to know that you're able to do all these different roles. From previous placements I were in, I remember thinking at the start, like, God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, or how I'm going to do all this work that I'm supposed to be doing. And then you sort of look back at the end of the year, and you have your end of year ratings where you review your performance, and you sort of sit and think to yourself, like, yeah, do you know what? I did manage to do all that, and ended up doing quite well. And it's just that confidence and knowledge that you can take into any role you go into, and do well.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Keen. Cal, could I come to you and ask you about the skills and how you think they will help you in your future career after you finish the programme?
Yeah, I mean, there's an absolute wealth of things that can be learned from working in as a branch. You're learning about all the different systems that we're using, even if that's not transferable. The actual ability to learn and how to implement the skills that you've learned from that software can be applied elsewhere. Was it Graham said, you have to have like these sound interpersonal skills. You develop those, they're useful in any customer-facing job. Alongside that, you've just got the general benefit of working in a corporate environment and learning how that functions and learning how to interact with different departments of a corporation.
Definitely agree with that. Thanks, Cal. And then finally on this question, I'll come to Ellie. So Ellie, how do you think that the skills you've developed on the programme will support you in your career after the apprenticeship programme?
Yeah, similar to Kian, really. Even sort of being able to network and have the exposure to different areas within the wider team where they've already sort of said, would you come and work for us after you finish the degree apprenticeship? So I've already sort of had opportunities that are presenting themselves for the future after my degree apprenticeship, but also, say for example, I did choose to leave the bank and go into a different industry. There's loads of different, like I said, soft skills, even the technical skills, such as the coding, that I'd be able to take elsewhere and use that as a skill to help me throughout my future career.
Yeah, that's really great to hear that the skills you've been developing on your apprenticeship programs will support you in your career moving forward. That's really great to hear. So the final question that we're going to ask you all is how you think your apprenticeship has affected your life in a positive way. So that can be both professionally and personally. So Keen, I'll come to you first. How would you say the apprenticeship has affected your life?
Really positively. I think it's helped me grow up a lot, and sort of maybe mature is a better word, and sort of helped me open up sort of a vision of where I think my career in life can go. I think, as mentioned before I joined the apprenticeship, I was sort of looking for different roles and sort of struggling to know where I wanted to work, or you'd apply for a role and you wouldn't quite have the experience to get involved in it. And as well as I always said, I always had that worry of not having the degree of dropping out of university prior, of whether that was going to hold me back at any point in life. now I know that I will be getting the degree. I'll have all the experience in different roles. It's helped me grow all the skills that I need in different roles, whether it's with HSBC, whether it's with a different bank, or even outside of banking. I'm confident now that I'll be able to go into anything and speak to anyone and do what I need to do to sort of be successful in that role and in life moving forward.
Yeah. Obviously, professionally, it's given me a job that I can work at, that I can upskill myself in. Personally, as well, it's just good. you're getting your qualifications out your way. You're earning a wage doing it. You're learning skills every single day that you wouldn't be able to learn elsewhere. Get to learn on the job practically. Get your hands really into things where you wouldn't get to do that otherwise. So yeah, very good. 10 out of 10.
It's had a lot of impact. I mean, I effectively completely changed industries that I was working in or looking to work in. I've gone from studying photography and 3D art to working in finance. And being able to make a career shift like that is not it's not an opportunity that everyone gets. I do not take that for granted. It's like being able to find something that you have never even sort of like really given the proper forethought or consideration, and then diving into it and realizing how sort of enjoyable that can be and how much you can get done has been like a really nice change of pace for me.
For me, I think the main thing was I had no work-life balance in my previous role at all. I used to work 6-day weeks. I used to work over constantly just to be able to get commission because I wanted to make as much money as possible. But this HSBC just gives such a work-life balance. For example, if I'm going into the office and I want to do 8 to 4 or 7 to 3, I've got the flexibility to do that, to miss the traffic. Or, for example, I've got a little doggy, so I've been able to work hybrid and being able to be at home sometimes for my little dog. That's massive for me. So in terms of how it's affected my life, it's extremely positive. I would never have been able to have had the hybrid role with my previous job. Just being able to have a bit more flexibility and respect to be able to manage my own working hours and time how I see fit. There's a couple of aspects to this, really. I've always been quite an ambitious person. I knew that I always wanted to go to uni. I knew that I wanted a good career. I knew that I wanted to become a homeowner, like all of these different things. And I didn't really know how I'd piece everything together if I were to take a more traditional route. So if I went to uni, I wouldn't have enough money to go and buy a house. But then I would have been later on in my career when I do get out of uni, I'd be looking for grad schemes, whereas I've kind of stepped in front of that and I'm kind of a little bit ahead than I would have been if I went to uni. So that's been amazing because I'm already on a great path to a career because I'm learning all these skills and then meeting all these people. I don't really know where I want to be, but I'm starting to get a better idea of it. It wasn't ever really a target career that I was looking for. I just know that I wanted there were certain aspects of my job that I wanted to do. So I wanted to lead people and manage. And I think this has given me really good step up, do something like that. But also the financial aspect. I'm not in debt. I've bought a house. I have a great work-life balance, as Ellie said, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing whilst getting to study and whilst getting a degree. So I honestly think that this is one of the best things that's happened to me, just because it pieces all these really key important life decisions and life ambitions into one, and it allowed me to do everything that I wanted. So yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic for me, and I tell everybody, like, just try and apply. It doesn't matter if you're not going to get it, but at least you tried, and at least you've got the experience, and then you can try again next year.
That's great. Thank you so much, Sylvia, and thank you to all of our apprentices for taking the time out of your day to speak to us today about your experience and about the skills that you've gained.
So for those of you watching this, apprenticeships really can be the key to starting your career. But as you've heard today, not just starting it, but really giving you the skills, knowledge, behaviours and confidence to drive your career to the limit. So thank you ever so much for joining us today. And we hope to see you apply for our programs and start with us here at HSBC.